get started. Do this. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I'm very excited to see you all tonight. We're excited to be celebrating our 4th annual Distinguished Alumni Award. This started several years ago when we celebrated Honors' 30th birthday, and we thought, all right, we've got some alums out there. Let's start celebrating them. So we put this award together, and now this is our 4th year, so we're really stoked about that. My name is Zach Martin. I am one of the Honors academic advisors, but I really think that my business card should just say Honors Party Planner, because that's kind of what I do around here. So I'm happy to have you all here. A quick note before I hand this off is, if anyone is in Philadelphia and is planning on going to the homecoming game tomorrow, make sure you stop by the Tailgate Village. Honors will be having a tent there, and we'll be giving away all sorts of goodies. So make sure you stop by and say hi to myself, some of the alums, some of the staff will be there. So, stop by and say hey. I would also like to say, before I hand this off to the Honors Alumni Council president, I would like to first actually thank Lauren Gallant for being the president of the Honors Alumni Council for the last 3 years. She's the outgoing president, and she has done a phenomenal job. So let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much for all your hard work, Lauren. We are very grateful for you and all the things that you did. So Lauren, I'm not letting her actually leave the council. She's just stepping down as president. So she's still going to be around, which is really great. So thank you so much, Lauren. I really appreciate you.
Of course, and you are in very capable hands. So we're excited.
Yes. Yep. So with that being said, I would like to introduce Lizzie Yazvac, the incoming president of the Honors Alumni Council. Lizzie has been on the council for 5 years and has been also doing some really great stuff. But we're excited to have Lizzie step up as the new president. And with that, Lizzie, I will hand it off to you.
Thank you so much, Zach. Hello, everyone. Like Zach said, my name is Lizzie Yazvac, and on behalf of the council, just want to welcome you all again for coming out tonight to this year's Honors Distinguished Alumni Award talk. Just a little bit about the award. So the Temple Honors Distinguished Alumni Award is for alumni of the honors program who have continued to embody the key pillars of the program: to be intellectually curious, socially courageous, and to uphold the values of integrity and leadership. It really is amazing to see all of the vastly different ways that our alumni can embody those pillars, and this year's winner is definitely a model of all of those, no doubt. So this year's winner graduated summa cum laude from Temple in 2016. As a student, she learned about urban agriculture and was involved with community-supported agriculture programs. Currently, she works for the Gus Schumacher Nutritional Incentive Program, a national effort to support nutritional incentives and increase access to fresh produce. So without further ado, I am truly honored to present this year's 2021 Distinguished Alumni Award to Taylor Kaminsky.
Thank you, Lizzie. I'm gonna show y'all my award that I received in the mail on Zoom. Thank you, Zach, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so we'll get right to the main event, and I will turn it over to Taylor.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. I can't even begin to tell y'all how proud I am and how honored I feel to receive the Temple Honors Distinguished Alumni Award. I'm even more grateful that y'all have taken the time out of your work week to join me on a Friday. For some of you, it's 5 o'clock, for others, it's 6. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to start out with more thank yous, because anyone that knows me knows that I love my people, and I'd love to thank everyone. So I first want to thank the Temple University Honors Alumni Council for the recognition that we're all here for today. It is an honor to receive this award. I didn't even know it existed until I was nominated. So I just feel incredibly proud and blessed to be able to do what I do. I also want to thank the Temple University Honors Program, Zach, Amanda, Ruth. It's been a while since we've seen each other in person, but y'all were my support system while I was there from 2012 to 2016. And I remember like the countless times hanging out in the honors lounge and just trying to make it through finals week. So I think about those years pretty often and want to say thank you for making this award possible. I wouldn't be the person that I am today without the Department of Spanish and Portuguese at Temple University. There are a few folks I want to recognize. Dr. Montserrat Piera, Dr. Iram Adorando, Dr. Patricia Moore Martinez, Dr. Josh Pongan, and Dr. Brendan Spinelli. Y'all are not only my mentors and my colleagues, but you're my friends. And I'm so grateful to be connected to you and still stay in touch even 5-6 years later. I want to thank my parents who are here in Zoom universe. It's hard to see everyone while presenting, but I know y'all are there smiling in Florida. I want to thank my friends that are on the call and my colleagues at the Gretchen Swanson Center for Nutrition and at Urban Harvest, community partners and Temple family members, parents, and students. Last group I want to thank is Prevention Point Philadelphia. Prevention Point Philadelphia taught me everything I know about radical public health and what it means to meet people where they're at and provide health care to those who deserve it and need it no matter what they do. And I get emotional because it's an emotional time, and the work that we did together was incredible. So Mom and Dad on the call, Wilfredo and Christina, thank you, and it was an honor to work with you. I'm going to focus my presentation today on the projects and programs I've worked on, but specifically how using Spanish in multiple areas of study has been rewarding both professionally and purposefully. So I want to welcome everyone to stop me at any time. Like if you have a comment or question, it's a Friday. We have all been working all week. I am totally happy for folks to just like pop right in. My lovely coworkers at the Gretchen Swanson Center for Nutrition, if you have anything you want to add, like totally add it in. This is collaborative in nature. So also totally recognize it's a Friday. If you need to turn your camera off, take a stretch break, get a drink of water, totally feel free to do that. Safe space, whatever you need to do. So I mentioned Prevention Point briefly, but for those that don't know Prevention Point is a public health service agency located in Kensington, Philadelphia, not too far from Temple University. Prevention Point's one of the largest urban syringe exchanges in the country. They provide free injection equipment to those that want it and need it. They operate 2 homeless shelters, provide medical services such as case management, primary care, hepatitis C care, HIV care, and a medication-assisted treatment program. They have a drop-in center where you can just come in 24/7 when it's super hot or super cold, have a cup of coffee, speak with a case manager, take a nap. Services are available and accessible to anyone that needs it. Another component of Prevention Point is there is a mobile health van where they actually go out and provide services in North Philadelphia. I was a medical assisted treatment case manager at Prevention Point. It was my first job out of college in my early 20s. I think I was 22 or 23. And I saw it as an opportunity to use my Spanish and meet people where they're at. When I was an undergraduate student, I was heavily involved with the College of Public Health, predominantly in the Norris Square neighborhood, working with professors to do nutrition education classes for families at a Head Start preschool. I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I joined Prevention Point to be a medically assisted treatment case manager. My time at Prevention Point was marked by working mostly with monolingual Spanish-speaking males participating in our medically assisted treatment program. And it's because of my Spanish skill set that I was able to work with participants who maybe others couldn't, and also understand cultural differences that either inhibit or provide access or inhibit folks from accessing medical services and healthcare here in Philadelphia. They're in Philadelphia. So I saw it as an opportunity to jump right in and use my Spanish. And boy, did I speak Spanish every day. It taught me that not only am I committed to public health, but it's so important to meet people where they're at and provide services in a way that's respectful and dignified for all that are involved. So I made an intentional decision in 2018 to move to Houston, Texas, where some of my family is located, and actually enter the local and regional food systems here in Houston. You can grow vegetables all year round in Houston. Did anybody know that? We have a growing season that's all year round. I won't get too excited about it now. I'll get excited about it later. But essentially, I made a purposeful decision to move to Houston, Texas. And I wanted to share some of these photos with you that show a little bit of my journey in public health. So here are some photos at Prevention Point. We used to do a homeless count every year where we actually would stay out pretty late at night in groups and get an accurate count of the homeless population in Philadelphia. Here is a picture of one of their shelters. We did different cookouts in the summer, different little barbecues, and participated in activist protests such as International Overdose Awareness Day. When I moved to Houston, Texas, I had the opportunity and the pleasure of working at Urban Harvest, where I worked at their farmers market and started a nutrition incentive program where we actually matched SNAP benefits, formerly known as food stamps, dollar for dollar, up to $30 a day to spend on fresh fruits and vegetables. So anyone who was using SNAP could come to one of our farmers markets, take out money on their SNAP card, and receive an additional match just for fruits and vegetables. You see here on the bottom right, that's what the bucks look like. That's what they look like in Houston. They vary across the country. And this is just one example of a nutrition incentive program that was funded under GusSnip, which is the project I currently work on today. As part of Double Up Food Bucks with Urban Harvest, we established this program at 13 other farmers markets and farm stands across the city. And I worked with community members who you see here in this photo to build an advisory board called the Northeast Community Advisory Committee to establish a community-driven farmers market and the SNAP incentive program in a food desert in Northeast Houston. So Northeast Houston is an area that is typically food insecure, and the advisory committee work together to organize stakeholders, other community members, parents at the school, to build, implement, and guide this farmers market. In all of these settings, I used Spanish almost every day. And it was very rewarding to be able to operate a mobile farmers market or go to a farmers market in a traditionally Spanish-speaking neighborhood and provide local, organic, fresh, just recently harvested produce. I'm telling you, harvested the day before we packed it up and got it ready to go. To be able to give folks access, not only language access, but food access when they traditionally may have not had it, was one of the aspects I enjoyed most about this job. So to kind of keep it interactive and like, I wish I could see all your faces, but I can't see all your faces. I'm curious to know, what does food mean to you? You can either put it in the chat or come off mute. I want to know from the audience, what does food mean to you?
Culture.
Culture.
Food means nourishment.
Nourishment. For me, it means family.
Yeah, food is a social activity.
Community, yeah.
Community. I love all of that. Food is all those things. It's culture, it's community, it's nourishment. Food is also a privilege. In the United States, 89.5% of households are food secure. And food secure means, you know, more or less where your next meal is coming from. You have ample room for groceries, and maybe even you dine out a few times a week. Does anyone know what it means to be food insecure? Besides my Gretchen Swanson colleagues. Okay, does any one of my Gretchen Swanson colleagues want to define food insecurity? Elise?
Not having access to enough food or not knowing where your meals will come from?
Yes. So the way I always explain it to folks is you really don't know where your next meal is coming from or how you're going to get it. So in the United States, 10.5% of individuals or households are food insecure, which is about 13.8 million households. That's a huge number. A huge number of households that don't know where their next meal is coming from. And even more telling is that 10.5% has not changed from 2019 to 2020. So it is still very much, I don't want to say a problem, but it is still very much something we need to improve here via national food policy or through programs like the GusSnip program that I currently work on. So speaking of GusSnip, GusSnip is also known as the Gus Schumacher Nutrition Incentive Program. And this program is a 4-year funded effort by the US Department of Agriculture that funds projects around the country that are operating nutrition incentive or produce prescription projects. A nutrition incentive project is one like the one I mentioned at Urban Harvest, where you're matching SNAP dollars at participating locations. It can be a farmer's market, and sometimes it's also a grocery store. And folks receive an additional match up to a certain amount to spend on fresh fruits and vegetables. Every year, the USDA releases a proposal called an RFA, where all these programs around the country can apply for continued funding or for new funding to establish this kind of program in their community. The other type of program that's funded or project that's funding through GusSnip are produce prescription projects. Produce prescriptions are essentially a prescription for fresh fruits and vegetables that you can get. Usually participants enroll in a program at a health center or a hospital, and they meet with a dietitian or a nurse, and there's kind of some educational component to receiving the prescription for fresh fruits and vegetables. So those are the two types of programs that are funded through GusSnip. And this is a nationwide program with 5 specific goals. The first is to increase the purchase and consumption of fruits and vegetables among participating households nationwide, reduce individual and household food insecurity, improve health outcomes of participating households, and decrease associated healthcare use and costs. From 2015 to 2020, $159 million funded over about 167 projects across 43 states. And while my role has changed from being a program manager out in the field to working more in project management and project coordination, I still use my Spanish on almost a regular basis. I'm happy to do translations of surveys for programs across the country that are actually looking to evaluate the efficacy of their programs. So while I'm not speaking Spanish every day, I'm very heavily involved in tasks as they relate to translation. So these are the 5 main goals of our project. And I want to contextualize a little bit that this program isn't new, and incentive programs have been around since 2008. The first one was called the Healthy Incentive Pilot in 2008, and that funded $4.4 million and incentivized 30 cents on the dollar. So what that means is when folks spent their SNAP card at a participating location, 30 cents was credited back to the card to spend on eligible fresh fruits and vegetables. In 2014, the legislation changed to be called FINI, the Food Insecurity Nutrition Incentive Program, which funded $100 million over 5 years and changed the match to a 1-to-1 non-federal match. So for every SNAP dollar spent required an additional dollar or gave an additional dollar for fresh fruits and vegetables. The Healthy Incentive Pilot and the FINI pilot together were very impactful. But in 2018, they renamed the legislation to GusSnip, the Gus Schumacher Nutrition Incentive Program, which budgeted $250 million over 5 years, still requiring that 1-to-1 match for nutrition incentive programs. For those that are interested in policy, here is a breakdown of spending with the 2018 Farm Bill. You see here the different categories, commodities, conservation programs, crop insurance. What I'd like to point out is that $65 billion per year goes to SNAP and nutrition. And by nutrition, we mean other programs like WIC and the Farmers Market Nutrition Program available for seniors. So we've talked about food security at a macro level. What's it mean to be food secure? What's it mean to be food insecure? I want to highlight how food security affects Latino communities nationwide. So I mentioned earlier that nationally, our level of food insecurity has not changed from 2019 to 2020. It stayed pretty stagnant at 10.5%. What we see, though, is that communities of color are more affected by food insecurity. And for the Latino community, it actually increased from 16% in 2019 to more than 19% in 2020. Latinos continue to face the highest unemployment rate. Many work in the hospitality and tourism sector, which has been heavily hit by COVID. Nutrition programs like SNAP and the emergence of pandemic EBT with the COVID pandemic are super critical in reducing food insecurity and improving health, but there are barriers that the Latino community faces to participate in these federal assistance programs. Some of the barriers are immigration status, language access, lack of childcare, and fear of public charge. I am currently in Houston, Texas, as y'all know. And so I wanted to kind of contextualize this a little bit, that in Harris County, we have a population of 4.7 million. So like Houston is the size of New Jersey, geographically speaking. It's one city in this ginormous state of Texas, and it has 4.7 million people. A lot of people, and over 800,000 are food insecure, and 286,000 live in a food desert. 360,000 children in Harris County experience food insecurity, which translates to about 1 in 4 children. In Philadelphia, that number is actually pretty similar. It's 322,000, or 24% of children in Philadelphia County experience food insecurity. However, Philadelphia is a lot smaller, has 1.7 million people in the population. But to me, it's shocking and surprising that even though the cities are different sizes of people and of population and geographically, we still kind of see similar numbers of children being food insecure. So this chart here just shows on the left-hand side percentages of the highest counties with food insecurity. And then you see here that Harris County, or Houston, is number 2 at 869,000 individuals. I'm going to show a video to everyone that explains one of these nutrition incentive programs. This is one of the videos that I helped make as part of our 2019 GusSnip grant with Urban Harvest. So we made this fun little outreach video, and I'd like to share it with you all today.
Snap!
Can y'all hear it? Yes, okay.
It's that easy to stretch your dollars and double your fresh fruits and vegetables right here in Houston. Double Up Houston is a SNAP incentive program that allows you to double your SNAP benefits at local markets and farm stands. Simply buy $1 using your Lone Star card and get an extra $1 to spend on fruits and vegetables, up to $30 a day. It's just 3 easy steps. 1, start at the information booth at the farmer's market. 2, buy with your SNAP benefits using your Lone Star or EBT card. 3, get $1 more in Double Up food bucks. Every visit throughout the year, we will offer a $1-for-dollar match on fresh fruits and vegetables, helping make your food dollars go further. Double up today. It's a SNAP. Urban Harvest, cultivating thriving communities through gardening and access to healthy local food.
Wanted to share that with y'all because I think it does a great, we don't need to hear that again, because I think it does a great job explaining how these programs work in action, and really just like how easy it is to access fresh fruits and vegetables if you know this program exists in your state. You literally just show up with your SNAP card, make sure you have money on your account, and you will get extra money for fresh fruits and vegetables. It was awesome. It was like some of the most fun I ever had to see people's face and be like, I can get $80 worth of food today. Like, what do you mean? So I just like to kind of share that with you all. So here are some examples of the farmers market and the nutrition incentive program that we just saw. And what I'd like to highlight here for you all is that the goal of Double Up Food Bucks Texas was to increase, and still is, increase access to and the purchase of fresh fruits and vegetables. When we started this program, I started it in April of 2019 at 13 farmers markets and farm stands in Houston. We had no idea what we were getting into, the amount of press we would receive, the amount of interest we would get. It was truly, truly incredible. And when we had the opportunity to apply for a GusSnip grant in 2019 with Sustainable Food Center, we really capitalized on that. And in 2019, we were awarded the GusSnip grant led by Sustainable Food Center with Urban Harvest and a Double Up Texas steering committee. In my time working on our 2019 GusSnip grant, and now in the next year, SNAP incentive sales were realized of over $158,000 by 9,572 SNAP participants at 32 participating sites. We were able to expand the program. It already existed in Houston, and it existed for quite some time in Austin, Texas. We expanded the program across the state to Waco, Lubbock, and San Antonio, and established a Double Up steering committee of 8 to 10 partners. When COVID-19 hit, half of our markets shut down, bringing about the total number from 13 to 5. Urban Harvest saw it as an opportunity. Myself, Libby, Jana, my coworkers, we saw it as an opportunity to actually retrofit a Ford Transit van, which you see here, and pop up, meet people where they're at, and provide fresh, local, organic produce. So that's what we did. We retrofitted this van and we went to community parks, we went to health centers, and we did our farmers markets socially distanced, safely anyways. And this experience was both super stressful and very impactful because one, it kept all of us busy and responding, but also allowed us to actually enter more neighborhoods that we might have not had access to before. In the year that we built the program, we established super strong community partnerships that allowed us to connect with federally qualified health centers and host the mobile market. As one of the only bilingual staff at Urban Harvest, my Spanish came in handy almost every time we operated the mobile market. There were many areas where for folks, it was the first time they'd seen fresh organic produce because they don't live near a grocery store or don't have the transportation to travel there. And to be able to provide fresh produce and eventually doing bilingual cooking demonstrations on Facebook and social media in Spanish and English was super rewarding to connect with folks and provide services in their native language. I want to close with some opportunities for younger students or those that might be involved in public health, might want to be involved in public health. One avenue I recommend is consider becoming a community health worker. I have this certification as well. They're not too expensive or time consuming, and they allow you to actually work in various settings, hospitals, health clinics, and provide outreach and other services to folks that are at those locations. Another way you can get involved in public health is through the Department of Spanish and Portuguese. There's a lot of opportunities to use your Spanish, practice your Spanish, and work with organizations that the Department of Spanish and Portuguese partners with. Also, always shamelessly plug the Latin American Studies semester, which is a 17-week immersion program through the Department of Spanish and Portuguese. Great way to learn another language. I also recommend seeking out undergraduate research opportunities. Our professors at Temple are up to some really amazing projects. Get involved, ask them about what help they need, learn about IRBs and city training, and just take advantage of the robust nature of the work your professors are working on. Another great way to get involved is to volunteer at a local nonprofit or community-based organization. I recommend everyone in Philadelphia become Narcan trained, and if you're open to it, volunteer at Prevention Point. I'd like to pause now.
What is Narcan?
Yeah, so Narcan is, wow, it's been a while since I've explained this. Hold on, let me see your faces. Okay. Oh, now I can see you all again. It's way less like daunting without seeing you, but I wanted to see y'all the whole time. Okay, thanks for your question. Was that you, Amy? Why?
It was.
Oh, thanks, Amy. So Narcan, I was gonna see if I had some to show you, but it kind of looks like an inhaler, like an asthma inhaler, and it's a medication or a substance that you actually puff into somebody's nose who is overdosing or experiencing an overdose on heroin. It has naloxone in it, which stops the opiate receptors from binding in your brain. So it actually stops the opiate overdose. The effects of Narcan last 2 to 4 hours. And it's when you give Narcan to someone, you also combine it with rescue breathing and calling an EMT. So it looks like a little inhaler, basically. And Philadelphia has a standing order where you can go into any pharmacy and request Narcan for free. You can also get it at Prevention Point, Philadelphia.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. I carry it with me everywhere I go. I feel like it should be a part of a first aid kit, just like Band-Aids or whatever. Thanks for your question, Amy.
Thank you, Taylor. That was amazing. Did you know about public health before you went to Prevention Point?
Peripherally. I did not study it. So no, I just kind of had a sense of helping the public access healthcare.
Taylor, how do you see your position now being different from your position before, where you were really more in the trenches, so to speak? And now you're kind of like, you know, backed up into partnership, technology, communication. Like, you talk about that just for a sec?
Yeah, so I honestly feel like this is the role I've been waiting for. Like, okay, I'm gonna be real candid for a second. When I was an undergraduate, I was an undergraduate research assistant for Dr. Alice Hausman in the College of Public Health, and I was a project coordinator for their health literacy needs assessment. And so that's where I learned about like IRBs, research, like that intellectual people literally think about this stuff all day long and write papers on it and like do it for a living. Like I couldn't really conceptualize like what a PhD meant. And so that time at Temple, like learning about public health research and doing all that project coordination was like the most fun I ever had, because obviously all y'all know I'm like a huge nerd. It was the most fun I ever had. And when I went to Prevention Point, you know, with a strong background thinking, okay, I love public health, like this is what I want to do, and I'm bilingual, I can do this. I didn't realize how intense it would be while I was there. So in coming to Houston and Urban Harvest, I had been thinking for quite some time, like, what is the ideal experience for me? And it's one that combines everything. So when I see my current role working in project coordination and working with partnerships, I really see it as like a culmination of all my experience. I learned how to do research as an undergrad student. Then I learned like really about public health and barriers, as well as how to save lives at Prevention Point. And then like got back into local and regional food systems. And so like, I guess the long story short is I feel pretty much an expert in crisis management. I feel like I am a great manager of people and can really understand like the nuances that are involved in partner relationships and partner development. So even though the role is very different, it's more project management, it's scheduling, it's coordinating, it's just as fast paced as anything I've been involved in. So I feel like it's just like the perfect fit of everything that I care about. And so there are some days where I'm like, I'm literally working from my apartment like every day. And 2 years ago, 5 years ago, I was like running to Prevention Point at 6 a.m. And so just kind of every day, I'm like, wow, this role is like everything I'm good at combined in one. So I don't know if it answers your question.
You did. Thank you.
But it just feels like a perfect fit. Thanks, Amy.
So, Taylor, I wasn't prepared to say anything, so just go as I'm talking as I'm going, but I just wanted to say your presentation choked me up. I was off camera for a lot of it because honestly, like the work that we do a lot of the time as scientists, like you forget, you're so entrenched in all of that stuff, you forget the overall purpose. So when you started talking about what it means, just starting with the very basic, do you know what food insecurity means? Like, I know the definition, but I haven't lived through it, you know? So thinking about that, it's so meaningful. And I can't tell you how important you are to me and the organization we work for, because that's what we need. Like, we need to sometimes realize why we started this in the first place. Like, it wasn't grant funds, it wasn't any of that. It was because you go into public health because you care, not for the money, obviously, you know. So I just wanted to thank you. I think you're amazing. And I just wanted to know that we appreciate you. We recognize that, your passion, and it's really great.
Thanks, Dina.
I want to say congratulations, Taylor. I'm so excited. I get to say I met Taylor freshman year, 18 years old, and she immediately started helping her class figure things out. So watching her through the public health, through the research scholar, through everything, I thought she's going to someday save the world. And here we are. Not that many years later, which is the other amazing piece of it. Normally you do this when people are in their 40s or 50s or 60s. Taylor hasn't even broken her 20s and she's already feeding half the country. So congratulations, Taylor. I am so excited for you. And I will say it's really fun that this all happened through the Spanish department and you end up here, because what a beautiful interdisciplinary way to see the world. And I think we forget about that in our silos, and you are the culmination of what we would like to do at Temple. So thank you and congratulations. And I can't think of anyone who deserves it more.
Thank you, Patty. I don't have the words to tell you how much you mean to me. Thank you. That means so much. I'm still in shock. Like, originally I was really hoping I could come to Philadelphia and give this award and give this in person, but there's a huge beauty to having like people from all over here together on Zoom Universe. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Taylor. We are so proud of you, and so happy you're part of the honors community, and you're out there doing what we all believe in, right? And we all, that interdisciplinary thinking, you're getting out there and you're kind of pulling it all together and making a difference. And that's what we believe in, right? That's what honors is all about. So you're really a shining example. So we really appreciate you. We're honored to have you be our fourth recipient of this award. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight. It was great to see all your faces and to have everybody from around the country, right?
Yeah, incredible. We got Florida, Philadelphia, Nebraska, Houston, Maryland, Boston, Colorado. Hi, Montserrat. I see you now. It's good to see you.
Well, like I said, I welcome anyone to come to anyone that's in Philly.
Taylor.
Hi,
Taylor.
The tailgate tomorrow.
I decided not to say anything. I don't want to embarrass you in front of everybody. But you are the greatest. You are the perfect student. We are very, very proud of you. So congratulations.
Thank you. Hi, Mom. I see you now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I just was watching and you're amazing. And I don't say that just because you're you and you're part of me, but good job.
Thanks.
So proud of you. This child was 1 pound, 10 ounces.
Oh yeah, people don't know that about me, but you can
She's
share
brilliant.
that.
She was a preemie, 1 pound, 10 ounces. Her dad's wedding ring went up her arm, just to let you know how little she was.
Oh.
Tiny, but look at her now.
I guess
Okay,
I've always been ambitious.
Oh, very wanting to be there, do it, be the first. Clearly, it's a good thing. I'm sorry. I love you.
Love you too.
All right.
My 2-year-old just said, "Happy day." Happy day to you, Taylor. Say happy day, Hazel. Happy.
And Dr. Bowles, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time either.
I was so thrilled to hear that you were this year's award recipient, Taylor. I'm so proud of you. And thank you for the wonderful education. You are, it goes both ways, and you taught me a lot today. So thank you and congratulations.
Wow, I'm honored because you taught me so much. Namely that I'm pretty sure I didn't want to be a lawyer. Are you still practicing law?
No, I'm all in at Temple, so.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. And Wilfredo, Christina, hi, Mom and Dad. Are y'all driving somewhere? The other mom and dad?
Yes, we are driving. Yeah, we already made it to our destination. It's husband and wife night out. We're going to church. We'll have like games that we'll play, Well,
let me just say that we're very, very proud of you. We love you. We miss you. And thank you for inviting us to this occasion to share with you.
Yeah. Thank you for letting us be a part of your celebration. We're honored.
I worked with Wilfredo and Christina at Prevention Point while I was there, and they're my Prevention Point mom and dad. because sometimes you need a parent everywhere you work.
No.
I don't.
Sorry, we got to go, Taylor. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for coming tonight. We're really happy to see all of you, and we're really proud of Taylor. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. If you're in Philly, come to homecoming. We'll see you at the game. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Taylor, you're amazing. It was such a beautiful talk and so inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
Feel deeply moved. Good job, Tay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, honey. Love ya. Love ya.
Love you.
Call me.
Okay.